Yes!
How many can there be left in the world in this condition? This may be the last barn find Cobra in the world. To find a barn find takes patience. Sometimes you find something within 15 minutes of hearing about it, and sometimes you chase it for 20 years. This is one of those stories. I've not been in here, I've not seen this car, but there's a very special automobile behind the door of number 25 at this storage building. You've met Jim Maxwell before. He's our Cobra expert, and he's joining us again today to verify this Cobra. Anthony's got the key, that's why he's important.
Except I don't know which one of the 7 it is.
Oh, no kidding. Anthony Wilson flew down from Boston this morning to talk about the history of the car behind this wall, but this is clearly, in the 10 years we've been doing Barn Find Hunter, this is going to be one of the most significant cars we've ever found. King Tut's tomb. We're assuming it's in there.
Do I get the honors?
Yeah, I think you should. I present to you an authentic 289 Cobra. That has been in this building since 1982. Disassembled, being prepped for a restoration, it never happened. So many cars wind up like this. Usually they're not Cobras. Jim, what can you tell us about this from the first blush?
The giveaway that it's very likely original is the instrument panel. You can see all the old gauges, Stuart Warner gauges, the 62 Galaxy clock, 36,277 miles. Original steering wheel, shift knob, it's the real thing.
How can you tell for sure?
Well, we'll open the hood up and we'll look for the serial number. It's not attached.
This is the first time I've seen this car, although Jim and I have known about it for 20 years and have kind of been bird dogging it for that long.
So, the way to tell an original Cobra is to find the serial number. And there it is, right down there.
On this car, we're going to be able to show you everywhere a serial number is. Small block Cobras initially came with a 260 cubic inch. How many make with 260?
I think 75.
I think 75. And after that, I went to a 289 high performance engine, which had 271 horsepower. They came standard with a cast iron low-rise manifold like this one and a 4-barrel carburetor, and it was optional to get a bigger carburetor and a high-rise aluminum manifold. Oddly, on this car, there's a 2-barrel manifold on here. There's only one Cobra in the world that came with a 2-barrel manifold, and that was a car that we saw a year ago, Herbie Hancock's, numbers 2006. So I take it that this is not the original engine, or for some reason they bolted on another intake manifold. So, Jim, how can we tell if this is a hypo?
Well, you can tell by the numbers on the heads. There's a number right there that I think is a 19, 20, or 21. Those are the 3 numbers for hypo heads. And then there's a stud on the block down here that'll have a 4-digit engine number. I believe this is the original engine, and we'll be able to confirm through Shelby records that this is the original block.
So this is 21 over here. What number is that over there?
19, I think.
19, okay.
And you can see that the prior owner put Teflon between the leaves of the leaf spring. It has a special aluminum Cobra deep sump oil pan, which was an option.
Yeah. Jim pointed out before, this is a Stuart Warner tack, which it should be, but that's not the correct tack. This is a Stuart Warner oil pressure gauge, which it should be, but it's not the correct gauge. There's another building we're going to go to in a little while that the original gauges are there, and they're probably defective, so we could send those out and get them rebuilt. Because if you notice how bright white this is compared to the rest of these numbers have all faded to a yellow, so this and this should be brought back to the original gauges. Another spot where the serial number is hidden. Most Cobra owners don't even know they're here. But if you're, a wacko like Jim and I, we know where all these spots are. There it is again, 2429. So sometimes I've seen Cobras that a hinge has been swapped onto another car, or a door latch mechanism or a hood latch is on another car. So you can see what parts have been kind of orphaned onto a car and what parts are original. So far, this car is very authentic. We've got about 1, 2, 3, 4, maybe four more spots to find serial numbers. So the engine looks like it's a Hypo 289, at least the heads are at this point. The intake manifold's not. So we'll check the bottom end. We know that the transmission is a correct one, and we can check the serial number for that later. But I'm dying to find out what's in that trunk. So why don't we take pieces out, piece by piece,
Okay.
and you can explain what they are. So are these factory? I have to know.
Got it?
So, aluminum car. You think about a Corvette being lightweight and fiberglass. Fiberglass is heavy. It's much heavier than aluminum and somewhat heavier than steel. So this whole thing doesn't weigh 10 pounds. So you can see why Corvettes were being beaten by Cobras at the racetrack, because there was probably at least a 600-pound difference between a small block Cobra and a small block Corvette. This is like the most exciting part for me right here.
Okay, so here's some excavation. Let's start. Pockets for the doors, and look, leather. And these are the originals. Here's one of the coolest parts. This is the prop rod for the hood. But that's not the cool part. The cool part is the date.
So Georgia's first Honda dealer, now Georgia's largest. So this is like probably the Atlanta Journal-Constitution. January 19th, 1982.
There we go.
There we go. So we had suspected this car has been here in this garage since '82. So let's compare this to, like, extracting a dinosaur, somewhere in wherever dinosaurs come from.
Utah.
Idaho or Utah, right. Yeah. They dig down and dig down. And you know what? They don't, oh, look, a skull. Oh, look at this bone. You know what? They leave everything in place and they dust pieces off and move it aside and take pictures of it. The whole skeleton. Kind of what we're trying to do here in an automotive sense is respect each part, document them. We'll go home and document these parts, put them in a book, see what we need to replace, what we need to restore, and then go on from there.
We've been talking about Cobra serial numbers.
Oh yeah.
Here's the original trunk latch, 2429, fits with everything we've seen. These are the two hood latches, only one of which has the serial number. That's the way they came, 2429. More treasure, door latches. It's incredible. I don't know what this is. We're going to find out.
Yeah, it might be hash.
Okay, probably anticlimactic. Oh, all kinds of fasteners. These are studs for the tonneau and top. These are for the windshield washers. That's from the top or tonneau. This is amazing. Here's the hanger for the windshield washer bag. The degree that they saved the old parts is just incredible.
So you might say, Tom, why are you taking that off? Because there's another serial number right here. And again, something you can only see from the underside. And there it is, CSX 2429, which means 289. This is the 429th Cobra built.
They etched. Flip it around, you'll see it.
Oh, I see a 2.
2429.
Yep.
2429. But that's just so cool.
So we've done a couple of Cobra extractions now. There was the red 427 Cobra that was next to the Ferrari. There were the Cobras up in Historical Society up in Detroit. And we keep on talking about where serial numbers are hidden. But if you were to crawl underneath the car, that same serial number would be scraped with an ice pick on the underside of this transmission tunnel. It's an aluminum panel. You've been taking my word for it. But now, on this car, we're going to be able to show you everywhere a serial number is. So we've already seen it 3 times on the chassis where it's stamped, on here, which is under the transmission tunnel where it's etched, and in the panel that goes behind the seat in front of the gas tank. So tomorrow we're going to go to another storage building about a mile down the road. Apparently there's a lot of parts for this car. I can't wait to see what's there, because if it's not there and it wasn't here, we got to find it, and that's tough. This is day 2 of our Cobra adventure. We've got friends and family here of the gentleman that owned the car for so many years, Alan. And so we're gonna push the car out, let John see it, because, I don't know, have you ever seen this car?
I don't think so, no.
Okay. Well, but that's Alan's longtime car buddy. So we're gonna push the car out and we're gonna tell stories about this car and the owner.
Oh man,
How do you like that?
that's beautiful. Okay, you call it.
Ready.
It's kind of light, isn't it?
That's why I beat the Corvettes. Hey guys, Hagerty Marketplace has auctions you can trust from a name you know. It's free to sell with dedicated support before, during, and after your auction. Hagerty Marketplace Auctions makes it easy to get the most out of your car. Click the link in the description below to find out more. So we can just back it up here, I guess, right? So John, somebody came by yesterday, a guy with a truck, probably a tenant here. Hey, what's that? Oh, it's an MGA.
Oh no.
He said, oh, I used to have a Triumph. There it is.
All right.
Wow.
I got to take pictures.
I wish Alan were here to see this.
No kidding.
I do too.
Yep. So this is Alan's friend John, who's known Alan since what?
Well, I was 16 when I met him, and I'm 76, about to be 77. So.
And were
I've
you
known
the
him
same
for
age?
60 years.
Same
He's
age?
A year younger.
Year younger, okay. And Alan was a car guy, huh?
He was a car guy.
His first car was an E-Type Jaguar?
Yeah, it's an E-Type Jag, and his mother gave him an E-Type Jag, but no money to support it. His family had by far the most money of any family in the group. His dad owned a bank. When we went out with his friends, he had the least money. The Jag helped to keep him broke, and yeah, he was broke. All of the Alan's other cars were stored separately from this one. I don't know why this one is separate.
No kidding.
I saw the Ferrari, I saw his other Cobra, the Triumph, BMWs, he had a lot of cars.
So you started to say before about Alan had a favorite mechanic. Tell me about that.
I don't know the fellow's name, but Alan trusted one guy to work on his cars. And that guy was teaching another guy to race, and he was a passenger, and apparently the guy, his pupil, made a mistake and crashed, and they were both killed. After that, Alan said, well, I don't trust anybody else to work on my cars, and so I'll just park them.
And that was it?
As far as I know, that was it, yeah.
Wow, no kidding.
And I mean, he told me that more than once.
So do you think, if that was 82-ish, if that happened in 82-ish, that seems like when everything was parked. That's what I'm...
That's probably right. It makes a lot of sense, Tom.
Yeah. This is Anthony. Anthony was Alan's nephew who flew in to kind of do the deal on this Cobra with Jim and I. And so tell us a little bit about Alan and your memories of him.
It's funny because for many years I didn't even know these cars existed. And then my sister came back with these great stories of being driven around Charlotte in formal attire. She came down with a friend, so there were 3 of them in the Ferrari, all dressed to the nines, driving around Charlotte at night.
Were you jealous?
Of course I was. Didn't even know these existed.
Wow.
It took me a while to even find out what are the cars. And then he was just always a very private person, quiet person. Honestly, never saw these cars. And then of course I went on to life, and little did I know, it was probably about the time these got parked. So the mechanic died and all of that happened. I really never until now had the opportunity to see and know the cars. I asked him many times.
Well, you don't have a mic, right?
Yeah, no.
Well, yeah, Dolly is Anthony's better half. Since they live so far away, they didn't have much exposure to Alan and his cars.
I mean, the only thing I remember is discovering in 2017, right? It was when you discovered all the other ones in the and going to Florida and watching them being auctioned off, and that was an amazing experience.
Yeah, cool.
It's definitely going to the right place. I know that you guys are going to take great care of it. So.
Yeah, I actually was thrilled because, I mean, first off, you knew him at least in a little bit.
Yeah.
I am going to be thrilled to see this thing fixed up and on the road again.
I'm going to throw you the keys. Have a good time.
I will take the keys just to catch up with me.
How many can there be left in the world in this condition? This may be the last barn find Cobra in the world.
There can't be but 1 or 2 more hidden away like this. This was a fairly late car, 2429. They started at 2000 was Shelby's personal #1 Cobra, and they went into the 2500s.
There was 998 Cobras built new. That's 260s, 289s, and 427/428s. There are at least 60,000 replicas of Cobras. It's the most replicated car in the world. So much so that if a car disappears for a long time, well, somebody might think, oh, it doesn't exist anymore. We'll just build a replica and assume that number. And that's happened a number of times. But, and some of these cars have been found in the water. One was dragged up in the Hudson River. Every year, they would dredge the Hudson River for cars that were dumped, stolen and dumped off a dock. And one year they pulled up a Cobra out of that. And that car has been restored.
The first Cobra registry was published in 1975, and it was about 20 pages, and there was not much information at all. And now the very latest is an online registry which can be updated almost instantaneously.
Can you read what this car came with, the colors it came with and whatever?
So this car was vineyard green with a black interior, sent over on the SS Dental Dyke, and it went to Glen Organ Ford in Compton, California. $5,195. It had accessories of white sidewall tires, antifreeze for $3.55, and that was a grand total of $449.05. It was sold to a guy in Los Angeles. It went to another guy in Minnesota, another fellow in Minnesota who was the fellow that raced it, and then it was sold to Alan. And here's the way Alan described it. Original engine and drivetrain redone, frame sleeved, aircraft wiring, chrome wires with P5 Pirellis, in bare aluminum, ready for paint. Another description, Weber's by Carcraft, strong motor, completely fresh and debugged, including Magnaflux suspension, air-equip everything, improved brake and engine cooling, roll bar, original body and interior, lunatic fast street car / safe. I don't know those go together.
Okay, so this is documentation on the car, but how long has it been in unit number 25? We're going to talk to the woman that runs this storage facility just to see how long it's been here, how long Alan's been a tenant, and how long this car has been entombed in this garage. So are you Christina?
I am Christine.
Okay, so Christina is the manager of this facility and has rounded up the file for garage number 25. So how long has this car been in this building?
Since November the 7th of 1994.
94, that's 31 years ago. I mean, how much did he pay per month for this place?
He started out roughly at $75 a month.
And what is it most now?
His payment now is $126.
So that's been for 31 years. So we could probably come up with an average and multiply it by 31 years. Holy mackerel. Christina, thank you so much.
You're welcome. Thank you.
If there was anything valuable with this car, it very well might be in the glove box. The glove box was locked. We didn't have a key. Jim actually ordered a key from somebody in Boston, but it won't be here for a week. But I took a screwdriver and took the little knob apart, and inside the glove box, once we got it open, was certificate of ownership, proving that this car was last registered in 1981.
Oh, there you go.
There's a whole bunch of those in storage.
Drum roll.
Drum roll.
Yes!
The bill of sale or?
Certificate of ownership.
Nice.
Oh, cool.
We did it.
How lucky are we about that? We couldn't find the title, and here it is.
Man.
Oh my gosh.
Green Shelby Cobra.
Wow. All right, that's only the beginning.
Okay.
Minnesota. That makes sense.
Yeah.
This car spent much
Second
of his
and
life.
third owners, Minnesota.
Yes, I bet he did drive back from there.
Oh, that is a question I'm going to ask.
North Carolina permanent registry card. Do not destroy.
Well,
So what's the date on that guy?
81.
Okay.
That's interesting.
yeah, we got to have that. Door strap.
Oh yeah.
I mean,
okay.
for the latch, door latch.
Oh, this could not have gone better. Radio Shack. $1.34. Probably a fuse. You know what?
Fantastic.
Man, that's solves all our issues. Remember you were a kid, like 9 years old, and you get a bicycle for Christmas, and yeah, I couldn't wait to go out and drive it. This is as exciting a day as for two old men as could be. You give your engine thing first.
Well, there's an engine number on the side of the engine block, and the original paperwork for the Cobras listed the serial number of the car and the engine number. I just sent the engine number that I just took off of this block to the World Registrar of Cobras, and he just confirmed it is the original engine.
Our work is done here, almost. We're going to load whatever parts are in the garage and the car in the trailer, And now we're gonna go to the second storage unit a mile away and see what other parts might be there. But so far, today is killer. Oh, okay, that's either Ferrari. I think that's a Ferrari air filter, V12. Pistons, camshaft. That's not light. So this is a fuel pump and valve springs. Looks like bearings. So let's take a look what we have here. It's a shift knob for a Cobra. And these are more horn centers. Ah, look at that, that's the AC one. So that goes on a 289. The other one we saw goes on a 427. The mirrors, the dash, so those are new mirrors that were probably just cut. These are Weber carburetors. There's 3 2-barrels here, so there's one more carburetor somewhere. But you know, in theory, you put these on a manifold on a V8 like the 289. There's 1 barrel for each cylinder. That was the hot racing setup. Jeez.
Oh, there we go.
Look at that.
I need to look at the number on that. This is the glove box lock key.
Unbelievable.
Well, I guess we should have come here first.
Right. More treasure from King Tut's tomb. This is the original overflow tank, original drive shaft. Before Alan bought it, previous owner had put these Weber carburetors on it. The serial numbers on these carburetors indicate this is an original set from a GT40. Brand new windshield for an AC Cobra.
And this is probably the original windshield for that Cobra. It's got the chrome frame around it. Here's a convertible top. Boy, it looks pretty darn good. Wow, the back window looks good. That's pretty fabulous. Wow, wow, wow.
There's the original grille for the 289. It's all aluminum, very complex the way it's put together, but that's the original thing and it's in great shape.
Oh, look at that good stuff.
And we got the tachometer, we got the oil pressure gauge.
For a car guy and for a barn find hunter, this is what Christmas morning looks like. I mean, I could never imagine finding another Cobra. I've been lucky enough to find a couple, but this was kind of my backyard and it came with all sorts of extra parts. I have my work cut out for me. Jim and I figure it'll take 2 years to restore this car. You know what? There are cars in your backyard too, and they might not be a Cobra, but it might be something else really cool. Don't give up. It took me 20 years to get this one. Happy hunting.